Hello, and welcome back to Key's Slice of Life. This will be a very long-winded but necessary update because I'm sure you've seen that I've kind of been posting more than I normally do. And going forward, I may be posting a little bit more. And I also just felt like at some point I was being very transparent, and then life started happening and a lot of changes started occurring, and I kind of just stopped that. So here I am now making this one big update. So I would say about last year, right before surgery or right around the time that I had surgery, there was a lot of changes that I wanted to make happen in life. I was also on my walk with God and learning who He is and what my relationship with Him looks like. And a part of that led me to feeling like I was lost. Like the old me had died. I had become completely unknown to myself, and it felt so foreign. And I'll never forget sitting on the phone with Brisha, Ty, Brianna, and Linda. I believe it was all of us, and I was just like, I don't know who I am right now. And it sounds so crazy because if you know me, you know like I've always been a very certain person. Like I've always knew who I was. I've always stood tall in my identity and the purpose that I believe I had. But in this particular moment and during these particular times and months, it was one of those like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what's next. I don't know what's going on. And this is so scary. It was also one of those things of like, you're asking God for certain things. However, you're not doing what you need to do. So I was asking for like, show me my purpose. Show me what I'm supposed to be put on this world for. Like, I enjoy helping people in regards to like learning about finances. I love financial literacy, all things financial literacy. I love travel. Like, these are two things I know I'm passionate about. How can I make this like a part of who I am and my identity, and allowing myself to be able to still focus on you, God, while also striving more and deeper into my purpose. And it honestly took a lot to get here, and it was just constant praying, giving things over to God, learning that like it's no longer my will that has to be done. It's always going to be His. And a part of that was honestly all of 2024 was about me learning to live in the moment. So it's crazy that while I initially started the year like, okay, cool, like I'm just going to be living in the moment. I'm not going to be so forward focused or whatever. And I was like, dang, because I changed my mindset, like because I don't know what's happening next, or because I'm not planning for, the next 6 months or the next 3 months, whatever the case may be, like I feel of that kind of leads up to where I am now, but there's more within all of it. I had my surgery in December, as most of you all know, and I was out on leave for a good amount of time. And when I tell you, I love just being in my space of healing, but also like mentally decompressing, giving me time to like think, tap into my creative side, focus on who I was more. And granted, it was at the end of the year, so it was kind of one of those like, oh, the year is coming up again. I need to make some New Year's resolutions. Like life is about to be the same as it was last year. However, this year I did not start with any New Year's resolutions. I just was like, whatever happens, happens. There are things that I wanted to focus on and attain, and I was just like, these are things I want to do. That's it. That's all. And so in March, me and my friends traveled for our 30th birthday, and we went to Dubai and Bali. And it was one of those like trips where it was like, oh yeah, something magical is about to come out of this. Like, I'm going to know after this trip that like everything that I've been praying for, that I've been saving for, that I've been like mentally preparing for, something is going to click. And honestly, I did a lot for my birthday, and I always do stuff, but I never just do as much as I did. So I ended up throwing myself a random birthday party literally like a week after coming back from Bali. Then it was just like, oh, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to do that. So I was really like pouring into me tenfold, because I was like, I love me. Like, why not give to me? And in those moments, it was just times of like knowing that like I needed this to be I needed to pour into myself, or like I needed to do more for me, while also still on my journey and focusing on like growing with God and learning new things and figuring out still like, what is my purpose? Like, what is my passions? How does this align to where God is wanting me? Like, make it all make sense essentially. And so honestly, like, I can't even say if it was an epiphany or just like a thought process, or it just came to me. It was like, you gotta go. You have to go. And I had called my mom, I'll never forget. I was like, my lease is up in July. I don't think I'm renewing. She was like, so what you gonna do? I was like, I don't know yet, but I'm not renewing my lease. And this was literally right after my birthday party. My birthday is March 29th, so it may have been like that next week. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm renewing my lease. Like, I've been thinking hard. Like, I don't know what's coming up, but something is just like, don't renew your lease. So she was like, well, okay, figure out what you're going to do, and we'll just see how that works out, or like how it goes. So I'm like, cool, bet. So I get to praying on it some more, and I'm like, if there is any reason for me not to do this, let me know. It was still just kind of like, okay, cool, like, I'm going to wait on it. I'm going to keep praying on it. I'm going to wait on it. Then around, like, May, I want to say, May came around. I went to DR for Courtney's 30th, and it was like, I enjoy being away. And I don't say this often, but traveling for me is it's an escape, but it's an enjoyable escape. Like, I can still be me and like get back to like the functionality of day-to-day lives or whatever, but being on vacation and just being away and immersing myself in like another culture and being around like different people, it gives me so much life. It is honestly like the fuel that I always felt I needed to just like refuel. And so I was like, okay, something is cooking or whatever. And I think like around like after that, this was like maybe around Cinco de Mayo. So early in May, I was like, I think I'm gonna just travel. I am going to just travel. Like, I can do that, right? Like, I can just travel. And it sounds right? And at first when I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh, this is crazy as hell. Like, who does this? What happens? And honestly, I ended up getting on Threads, and there was this lady that I didn't even follow her. She just happened to come on my page. Her name is Nikki, and she had I think her name's Nikki. She had just did or she was currently pursuing a 1-year sabbatical traveling around the world. And I was like, oh shit. Like, is this my sign? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And so I prayed on that some more, like, okay, God, like, my lease not going to be signed, what I'm going to be doing? Then I'm like, okay, cool, like, if I'm going to be traveling, like, where I'm going to be traveling to, where I'm going to go, what's going to be happening, like, what is life going to be? And easy enough, I ended up talking with a friend that I met in St. Martin, shout out to Jasmine, and we were literally, like, in the same boat. It was like, I'm over my life. It's very mundane. Like, it's not giving anymore. We're 30. We have no kids. We enjoy traveling. Like, something in my spirit is just saying, like, push. And so we were literally just talking about it. She was like, yeah, I think that I've been thinking about that too. And it was crazy because it was just like, I had mentioned it once before, and honestly, I want to say like in February I had said something to like my mom and one of my friends, but I ain't peeve on it. It was just like, it was a thought. Then when May came around, I was like, okay, let me like test the waters and say it one more time. And literally, like, when me and Jasmine had a conversation, it was like, okay. And I think like I heard one more time from like somebody else, or saw something else that was literally like another like taking a break for a sabbatical. And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing or whatever. So between May and July, I was in the process of just like packing up my stuff, deciding if I was going to sell everything, which was my intent. However, I was so last minute with like packing up my apartment. I didn't care about selling shit. I just put everything in a storage and was like, whatever I can get rid of, I will, and whatever I can't, I just put it in storage and deal with it when I get back. And then soon as I moved out in July, well, between June and like August or whatever, I've literally been planning my trip. So if you don't know, now you are being informed that over the next X amount of months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds, I will be pursuing a journey to her. I'm calling it Journey to Her because I still feel like it's on purpose with me continuing to find my passion and purpose and figuring out how this all ties into the plan that God has in store for me. And I know personally that He doesn't put desires and things on your heart that He's not willing to fulfill, as long as they're in alignment with His plan within itself. And I believe that I've prayed over it, and that I've like sought with it and sat with all of this for so long, honestly, that this has to be the right path for me. And even still, like, I want to say I went to church maybe 4 weeks ago, one community with Ty, Linda, and Gigi, and it was a praise and worship song, and I forget the song, but I know every time I hear it, like, it literally, like, it balls to me. And it was one of those things where it was like, literally, like, my mind just started, like, replaying, like, everything that had been happening, every thought that I had been having, when I felt like I didn't know who I was, when I was broken at some point, when I was, like, trying to figure everything out and still make, like, necessary moves and decisions. And I literally was like, this is where God wanted me to be all of this time. Like, and I bawled in church, and I can still cry thinking about it now. Anytime that I'm like, oh, this is my testimony. And it's honestly because, like, when I tell y'all, and granted, my smile may not have never shown it, but I was so lost. And I'm one of those people that I do journal. And so I went back and actually read one of my journal prompts, and it was like, God, can you just help me understand, like, what my purpose is, what my passion? Can you point me in a direction of where I'm supposed to go? And it was so much pleading and asking and, like, just show me the way, like, show me where I'm supposed to be, show me where I'm supposed to go. And I was just like, he's not hearing me. But I also knew that he was hearing me because things were working out for me. But as the impatient person that I am, it was just like, you ain't moving fast enough, God. And the more that I was reading my word and understanding that it was never about my timing or what I wanted, it was always going to be on his timing, and it was always going to be because of him. And so I can honestly say that faith has led me this whole year, and faith is going to lead me from whenever I depart on August 31st to whenever I return on whatever date that may be, that I have stepped out on faith, and that God is in control of every step that I take from here on out, and that I know that greatness is meant to be pursued and completed and achieved. And I'm going to meet some amazing people on this trip. I'm going to touch so many lives of just individuals watching, wanting to pursue these things, and just being a part of this journey. So that is it. This is Kiana's Key Slice of Life. However, this is the journey to her, where I'm going to be talking about where faith has gotten me, where travel is taking me, and where my finances are covering me. However, I truly just believe that all of this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful introduction to something great, something honestly pivotal. It'll be a whole 180 when it comes down to, like, what life looks like when I return. And I just continue praying and pray that whoever's watching, that you allow God to move in your life and do the things that you claim that you want done by surrendering them all to him. Because when we realize that he is in control and actually allow ourselves to relinquish those things to him, life becomes so much easier. And it's easier said than done. However, it's one of those things that you just have to do. You have to do. It's the things that we don't see but all rely on. And it's so crazy to be like, oh, like, just have faith, just have faith, just have faith. That mustard seed of faith will bring you an ocean of depth, an ocean of understanding, an ocean amount of, like, everything. So as vast and grand as the ocean is the literally yield to your reward for just believing in who God is and having that faith and believing that he is a faithful God, that he is going to show up in a timely manner whenever he's supposed to, for you, for your life, for your purpose. As long as you continue believing in who he is, coming to him, thanking him, praising him for all that he has done and all that he will do for you, giving him thanks in advance, because you know he's already going to do it for you. And I've honestly found myself praying a lot more and becoming more resourceful with my words and, like, seeking God on the behalf of myself and others, just because I know that in genuine talks and conversations that he hears everything we say. So it's like, let me be an intercessor on others' behalf, because I know what other people are going through as well. And right now I feel like, God, you are actively working in my life. You are aligning those steps, and I just have to keep stepping on each stepping stone until you get there. While I know that you are actively working in my life, allow me to be on the ground assisting and working with other lives. Let me pray for other people. Let me be in places where other people are able to see who I am and to see what you've done in my life, and allow them to know that you are real, that you are great, that you are amazing. And because of that, they now find faith in you. They now rely on you. They now come to you for everything. So while this is a journey about me, it's also a journey about God. So I can't wait to have you along and be able to share my travels, what I find, what I do, and everything with you all. So thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.